For my case study number 3, I dealt with morbid obesity and gastric bypass. So, with my lady for the case study, her name was Mrs. C. Her biggest struggle that she dealt with was obesity, and she's dealt with that her whole entire life. Due to the obesity, she dealt with a lot of other struggles. She struggled with emotional anxiety. She also dealt with sleeping issues. She dealt with dealing with a hard time at work. She dealt with stress eating. Also, didn't really make time for exercise, and she didn't take very good care of her body. Her post-medical status after she had help, she struggled with weight issues still. She was trying to reach a goal weight of 150 pounds. She had a poor BMI. She stress ate all the time. She ate fast food 4 to 5 times a week. She also dealt with diabetes and her blood sugar, and social anxiety was very hard for her as she dealt with work, and she lived by herself in an apartment. She had no social support whatsoever, and that also strained on her. Social, environmental, obviously living her day-to-day life was so hard, and she's began to overcome that after she's dealt with many doctors. She also didn't receive the right amount of exercise. She made zero time for exercise on a daily basis. Like I said already, she lived by herself. She had no emotional support, mental support. She had nobody there to lift her up. She had to do everything by herself. And she also didn't stay in contact with family very much. And as everybody knows, family is a big part of your life. And when you're struggling with something like that, family becomes very important. So her financial insurance. She had insurance for herself. She had priority health insurance. Obviously, in her case management plan, once she was admitted to a case manager, she met with probably 5 or 6 different doctors who all helped her with different things that she was dealing with. I already said she has priority health insurance. With her case manager, they both work together to get the best coverage on any appointment, any medication, anything that they had, because she had to pay for herself. She had no financial support whatsoever. She had no parents to rely on. Everything was coming out of her pocket. Had her obesity not been addressed when it would have been a lifelong cost of $1 million. So thankfully, she got help when she did, because that would have cost her so much more money, because the obesity would have gotten so much worse. On the next slide, the problems that were identified. She stress ate. That was her big issue. She was always stressed, always tired, never got enough sleep, because she struggled with sleep apnea and had to have a CPAP. And she also, in her sleep, experienced a lot of shortness of breath. So from that, not sleeping very well, she just stress ate. When she was stressed, she ate more, kept eating more. She also consumed about a gallon of pop to herself a day. And that obviously is not healthy. She was being poorly hydrated. She made zero time for exercise, as when she probably had time to exercise, she probably just spent it trying to sleep. Social anxiety, she had 0 friends. She just went to work every day, and that was the most social atmosphere that she would have. And also suffering with diabetes. Obviously, if you're not taking care of your body properly, that was very hard for her. So the case management interventions and recommendations. She obviously first was provided an in-home visit from the case manager. The case manager distinguished all of her surroundings, noticed that she was living by herself, noticed that she was feeling lonely, noticed what was in her pantry, noticed what was in her fridge, and how the way she took care of herself at home. She was referred to a bariatric surgeon that helped with her surgery. She had gastric bypass surgery, which helped her a lot in the end. She also was admitted to her primary care physician to help with her glucose tolerance. That helped keep tabs on her health, how much glucose she should intake each day. She also had different medications that the doctors helped her with. making sure that it was the right medication for her, not just some random medication. Most importantly, she was admitted to a nutritionist. The nutritionist helped her with basically like any nutrition needs as she dealt with obesity, obviously getting her weight down. So they gave her a recommended plan for what she should be eating. It also gave her a daily exercise regimen that she should be following. And this kind of gave her a step-by-step basis of what she should be doing in her life and like what times what times she should eat, what she should consume, how much exercise she should be getting, and that has in conclusion really helped her. So the case management plan prescribed her the proper medication, continued to follow the eating and physical exercise regimen. It also, most importantly, helped to meet up with her on a consistent basis to see how she's feeling, to see how her week's going, to see if she's still following the food regimen. That's very important. As she has lost a lot of weight after she has had the surgery and she's taken this more seriously and become more confident in herself, she has, in the end, now has a significant other, and she is living a lot healthier, happier lifestyle, which is important. But as somebody who's already stressed with something and been through something that severe, such as diabetes, obesity, sleep apnea, anything like that, it's all one leads to another. Because of her obesity, she had sleep apnea. Because of her obesity and sleep apnea, she was stressed with which allowed her to stress eat more, and it always just a chain reaction. And so it's important as a case manager to keep tabs on her to make sure that she's still following the same regimen that she should be.